the Ursa in this one. I think this one's very close to me. Maybe 55-45 Liquid, but I'm gonna side with LGD still here.
Yeah, I think you should also, because there's a large crowd for PSG LGD here that are hoping that their boys can push to a third game of this elimination series here for the MDL Disneyland Paris Major. It's over. Jody Pixel Gods for game 2.
Let's see what we've got cooking here in game 2 between Liquid and PSG LGD. Parker, I'm seeing already a bit better with the scalability of this lineup of PSG LGD. They're prepared for more stages of the game.
Yeah, even just swapping out the Ursa for a Monkey, you've got more of a team fight carry that can scale a little bit better as well, and you feel great when you go Dusa.
Well,
yeah, late game, ultra late game may not be the best, but
let's find out. Right, here we have it. Let's see if PSG LGD can draw another series today towards that game 3. We've had them all go the long haul so far today. Let's see if we can get one more out of these two teams, or if Liquid can shut this down, get the 2-0. They have those big key signature heroes, but Man on his lone druid. We've seen that do pretty well in some majors of the past. Is it still good enough to do it today?
His bear, he's trying to steal a rune. He's stealing it.
There's no
other rune. No one's there. He snuck it around. He snuck it all the way through that enemy jungle.
There's no one keeping their tabs on it on PSG LGD, so Liquid will get the 3 bounty runes to start things off.
Cheeky little plays. Small things. He's going to, always add up, make a little bit of extra different, an extra Tango salve or an item. That faster Blightstone that he's got queued up for his lane. Every little piece counts when you're so close as far as how these teams match up.
And talking about that lane, this mid matchup, Lone Druid versus Dusa, are we going to see anyone suffer here?
Not really, but we should see both players farm pretty well. Once Lone Druid hits level 5, there is that kill potential, but before then, Dusa should be doing just fine. We'll see a couple Wraith Bands and use that Snake if you need to secure some last hits.
And we are going to see, once again, of course, PSG LGD making sure that they get that matchup that they want to, as Arme will make his way down to the bottom lane, trying to get himself against that Tidehunter.
Yeah, it's the musical lanes.
The call of miracle being echoed here by this beautiful crowd late into the night.
We've had a lot of great Dota today. Every series so far going 3 games, and LGD are hoping that it's 4 series going the distance.
Down bottom.
Yeah, just trying to mess with some of these pulls, but PSG LGD have secured themselves the safe lane pull. They're the ones going for the tri-lane this game around. At least for now, wanting to utilize some of these pull camps, and more than anything, put some pressure onto Liquid, but we'll see if there should be a rotation top, because you're not really looking to have FY solo a lane. He's the support.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward way that PSG LGD have started things off, trying to find this position for Arme.
They need Chalice's level 2. That's the teleport, and that's when he can TP top with that, and then he's got his TP scroll to swap lanes.
Yeah, at the moment, Arme's he's the one making the small camp pulls, and FY is the one soaking up a solo lane top, so they'll be sure to sort that out.
Yep, he's up there now. Got the level 2, got the teleport, so now they've got the lane matchups that they wanted. And instantly, the second Chalice is up there. Fish is being thrown out. They want to harass Miracle as much as possible and put him on the back foot.
Down bottom. A little attempt onto GH. Spike Carapace does stop Arme from chasing down any further. Arme, of course, wanting to be more focused on just getting those first few waves of creeps and having those early levels so that they can try between the two of them to kill off this bottom lane Nyx assassin for now. But the movements are there.
Walk.
It really is, as it's going to be that long movement from Mind Control towards the top. You just cannot afford to lane against Arme's Monkey King.
And we'll see if Arme matches it. We're kind of reaching that point where it's like, how long do you keep jumping around lanes? It does feel like Monkey King, as much as he's known for jumping around the map, may just want to settle to walk across the map. So to complete the lane swaps,
ready to settle.
Yep. Mid lane, even CS battle, nothing really going or separating the two there. A couple extra denies for Matu with the bonus last hitting potential of having the bear with the Lone Druid hero.
And having that split shot early on the Deucer as well, just allowing the CS to continue and also have that harassment.
Yeah, you can chip at the bear whenever you're last hitting as well. It can add up and force him to resummon or even threaten to kill off the Spirit Bear.
Bottom lane, GH. Leads him with the stun. Miracle is on top, gets the ensnare straight away onto Arme. The Cask and Maledict will stop Miracle from going any further. Arme gets that boundless strike out to get the Jingu mastery stacks, and we'll be able to lifesteal his way up a little bit again.
Yeah, usually you want to use the boundless with Jingu, but he uses it just to get the Jingu. Back at mid, Maju's going for a kill with the Entangle. He's diving the tower.
He is. There needs to be backup potentially coming in for maybe.
Oh,
he's out of mana. I mean, Matumaman's just he's going to continue to try and chase this.
Oh, he's not getting the root. He just can't get the RNG. He's diving to tier 2, but Matu's just praying for a root. He got one root way back early on, but he hit like 6-7 more times without a root.
And still they're pushing maybe out of this lane.
Yeah, and Matu going for all those early game harass times. The Blightstone with Orb of Venom.
FY has the invis. So he's still on his own though, and just as a level 3 shaker, not the damage required really to kill off Matu. So we'll not go for a play at least until maybe he's back in the lane. Maybe then the two of them can try and catch him out.
Yeah, that's kind of how this mid lane goes. Even CS trade, then Lone Druid hits level 5 and instantly applying that pressure.
It's still hard to do though. FY's got to find the perfect block.
He's trying to bait this. He's turning and right clicking, but here comes Fissure.
There we go. They'll try for the block off Matu. Moving himself away. The snake bounces are there, but there's the fear. Separates FY from Matu, as Matu will be able to keep the distance and continue to run himself back to safety.
Nova's nearby. He's kind of looking to surround this one. And Matu needs to be careful. His bear very, very low.
Doesn't want to give that up. And won't have to. Able to jump it back and walks it back to base for the free heal. Down bottom though. Good block off from FY. We'll keep X-Nova safe for a little bit of time as that Miracle is unable to chase him. GH will continue. Try and find this kill. Find this first blood. It's still 5.5 minutes in. We're yet to see any bloodshed. He has the mango. Pops it. Stun connects nicely from GH. Reaches over, grabs X-Nova.
That's a lot of gold. That's a first blood. 6 minutes in, you see a 435 gold bounty. Like, I think combined with the fact that LGD had a gold lead, suddenly gold bounties, just even with the tiniest, tiny gold lead, the way the bounties work with the math formula behind it is you just get extra gold because you're behind.
And GH could continue to be even more of a nuisance here with that haste rune. As soon as maybe shows his face though, GH has to be careful how he pokes around. Feeling confident with the haste, and it's time that maybe he's looking towards the neutral camp, but GH, along with Matumaman, will be there to sort of bully him away. FY popping the Fissure down to make sure they can't dive any further. But Liquid have forced maybe away from that neutral camp. Just trying their best to slow down his farm. Still though, it's even CS pretty much between him and Matu's Lone Druid.
Medusa getting some of those CS from the neutrals, but as far as net worth goes, dead even.
Down bottom, looking towards mind control. The Maledict upon him is going to tick him down low. He's trying his best to run. The right clicks are enough. They get the kill. Mind control, knocked out of the lane.
Yeah, not cracking off that one. Witch Shock to Maledict, very effective this game against some of these tanky frontliners of Team Liquid. The melee Tide, your Nyx Dooms, your supports don't like playing against this Maledict.
Down bottom, GH is probably going to pop it to the Maledict. He does. It's another kill for the two of them down. Chase down Chalice, hard to do so though with the Shaker around. In fact, Kuro taking a lot of damage in response. The Sprout is out. He'll try and cut his way through. There's another Fissure. They get the trap off. Chalice gets the kill on Kuro. As PSG LGD going to work on these side lanes, doing a great job at forcing Liquid back.
I mean, Shaker to me has been one of the heroes of the day. Not like this, must first pick OP category, but he's just been one of the biggest playmaking heroes from what we've seen in this series and the previous ones.
Try for another Fisher block onto GH. Don't quite
Chalice
find him
has
still.
ulti.
And with the Sprout, GH taking a heavy amount of right click. Miracle will try and turn and force FY back behind the tower. The stun for GH connects and Miracle gets the kill. GH was the one to be jumped upon, but he's able to turn around and have the setup to get Miracle that action.
I think they're expecting a bit more damage coming out there. The Wrath of Nature not quite working as intended. But all in all, you look at the net worth of these Radiant cores, they are leading the way other than Matu's Lone Druid, giving LGG slight edge.
FY, the into mid, they have their eyes on GH. GH is pretty low. Does have to be careful. Good bounce with the snake. The fear is there as Matu will be able to utilize the bear to keep X-Nova and maybe at bay and keep himself safe and alive in the middle lane.
Yeah, very proficient on the micro heroes. Matu, his Brood, his Lone Druid, some of his best, and showing it there with no panic, just casual Savage Roar and walk away. He's playing without boots on his main hero, just the boots on the bear.
Top lane, X-Nova's going to be sort of moving between the top and the middle, seeing where the best place is for him to make a play again.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's crazy to think that the Witch Doctor has been one of the biggest playmakers of this lane stage.
And there we have it. Beautiful bounces there between the bear and Matu. There's the bounce as well with the Malady. X-Nova. This Witch Doctor popping off in the early game. Sprouts out onto Kuro, who tried for the TP away. Does manage to make it out of there. But X-Nova getting huge things done for PSG LGD in this laning stage.
Monkey wanted to go play around with the Tide to try and contest bounty runes, but Mind Control does a good job securing a bounty rune while not getting jumped on. But it's still PSG LGD, 3 bounty runes off the 4, a kill in the mid lane Lone Druid, and again, it's X-Nova, it's a Witch Doctor. This is not a hero you associate with playmaking, but we constantly sing his praises as one of the best 5 position players out there, and he's showing us why.
Liquid, they'll lose the mid-tier 1. They're going to try and chase down and see if they can get a route onto them, but FY easily able to shut down the chase of Liquid with a Fissure.
Yep, they have such good anti-chase. You drop a Fissure, they've got the Sprout as well, so it's very hard to chase down for these kills if you're Team Liquid.
A 2k lead for PSG LGD off the back of finding these big pickoffs.
Matu will be successful. He manages to get that T1 mid tower now, just sends the bear in, knowing that it is a little bit safer. I think he'll be a lot more careful about his positioning next to his bear. The cast being bounced between the two was his undoing there, and Witch Doctor's always been one of those heroes that kind of matches up pretty nicely against the Lone Druid in a lot of ways because of the way the cast can bounce between the hero and his bear.
That's the bottom lane that Liquid won next. As soon as they take that mid-tier 1, they want to move down bottom. They have 4 pushing in the lane. Matu there behind the tower. As the entire lineup of Liquids around. Let's get scanned out by PSG LGD, and PSG LGD will look to just mirror the movement. They're straight up to the top lane.
Yep.
There'll be a TP in from GH on his Nyx Assassin to see if he can slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, well, we look to set this one up. Any subsequent TPs will take some time. It looks like he's just fishing around for info, scanning to see how many heroes are up here, maybe hoping for a courier to go flying in, which is coming in soon. Doesn't look like he's going to get it on the way there.
And if he stays into the Vendetta, he could hit onto it, and he's going to find it by the looks of it, and he does. The Ogre Club taken away from Arme.
It's like a nice, it's such a like heads up, high IQ play to make as a Nyx. Just go Vendetta behind the push, because often couriers are just going to bring out items. There's 3 or 4 heroes pushing down a lane. At this stage of the game, you're bringing out, you know, your TP scrolls, your drums, your early game items are being completed, and he's just sitting there, and his kind of high IQ play pays off.
Run them down.
That's still very close, and not a lot of kills in this early game. 12 minutes, 4 for 2. Both teams just focusing on taking these objectives. Tier 1's down on both halves of the map. See if Matu can do this on his own. It's hard to do so with X-Nova. In position, Vita Restoration, and any time Matu tries to move in, that cask is a nightmare for him to deal with when pushing in with the bear.
And the threat is really that you have to, anytime Lone Druid does something like that, is you need a second hero there, because he has the solo kill potential. So without the Witch Doctor being there, and Witch Doctor doesn't really want to go to that bottom lane. You just want to send the Shaker down there alone to farm up and complete this Blink Dagger, but because of that Lone Druid threat, you're constantly forced to have people playing defensive, protecting their teammate as often as possible. DH. He's underneath the sentry here. They don't see him just yet, but they will when they walk to the high ground.
Gonna try for him, Fisher. That's gonna be held onto by FY as GH. Movement speed gets himself far enough away. They'll look towards Matu instead, potentially.
Yeah, no dust. They just had the sentry, so even if they hit him with a fissure, they weren't really going to be able to get on top of him. No blink dagger on the shaker still, of course. Probably want to see like Nature's Prophet play with some dust here, since Chalice is the one who can be anywhere on the map. So if they find a way to catch the Nyx assassin, it will be probably an essential part of getting those kills. But things will slow down here. You know, you're LGD, you've got this Deucer. They may not scale like to the super late game, but they still need to hit like these 1 or 2 item timing on Deucer before they start 5-manning down lanes. They ideally want to try and strike before Matu's Radiance is complete on Lone Druid. That's where Liquid get very hard to fight into.
And GH, he's found a catch. FY trying for a TP out, but GH was there with his eyes on him. As FY picked off on the bottom. Matu getting the kill as well, propelling him closer and closer towards that Radiance timing.
Ame has an Invis rune. He's going in enemy jungle. We'll get some info for himself and his team, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to turn this into a whole lot. And the Monkey King pick hasn't felt impactful yet. There's going to be this crazy big team fight around his ultimate with the Deuce Stone Gaze, but you kind of were looking to pick this hero to shut down at least one of the lanes. But with all the musical lanes, Liquid find themselves in a position where it's this very passive game. Matu's able to pressure the lanes, and Miracle's Troll just being quietly free-farming, working on a Battle Fury.
Top lane, rundowns there onto Chalice. So if they want to do it, they've got a Ravage. They don't need it. Straight up as the Infernal Blade comes out. Mind Control and getting trapped in nicely with Chalice, as Chalice cannot get his way out of this one.
Yeah, he probably should have just gone for the insta-TP. I'm pretty confident Mind Control would have used Ravage to get that kill because of the pace of this game. They deny a bounty rune top. Sorry, Liquid. But force out that Ravage, because then you can make some plays. But by trying to run away, Doom rotates in.
And the tree, it's cut. They found Ame, Matu and GH.
Wow.
Able to cancel the setup he was looking for. FI will walk in with a slam. Does manage to get GH in response. The Liquid, they'll take that trade.
Absolutely. Very quiet Ame game. No kills or assists for him. Being mostly the Witch Doctor and Chalice's Nature's Prophet who are the ones setting up and enabling that PSG LGD team to get any kills on the map.
And they've got to, Ame's got to be careful. Matu, with having the Quelling Blade on the bed, he's always going to be looking for trees to cut down. Mid lane X-Nova will try for a kill attempt, but Kuro, he's got the regen to sort of outdo any damage from the Maledict.
Yeah, it didn't quite get the cast bounce he was perhaps hoping for. If he managed to maybe cast once more on a Kuro, could have perhaps seen a kill. But in some ways, you know, it's Liquid's kind of playing with like 2 greedier 4s with both Nyx and a 5-position Doom with the Devour bonus gold. So last game, Kuro's able to finish items. He gets a Ghost Scepter. That's such a key item to have then, and not that he's getting a Ghost Scepter this game, but he's going to be at least not that, you know, typical under-farm 5 like the Witch Doctor will be this game. Particularly playing against Nyx, we're going to have to see a lot of sentries and detection being purchased.
Smart pick up this game from maybe Deucer. Has the Manta style. A lot of things that he can play his way out of and around. You can look for the timing as well, get some sweet dodges. Can make it that little bit harder for the Doom to be laid down upon him. Getting himself away from the claws of the Troll and his axes.
GH, he's been found.
He's been caught out. Fisher blocks him in. Chalice in with the TP. GH will have to let himself go.
And FY snipes the kill. Very intentional because he's so close to his blink. He wants to get that extra gold. He's just been sitting bottom. They managed to deward this side of the map to help make it a little bit safer. And when they get his blink up, there's so many more plays that PSG LGD can make.
With the farm game that's being played, Miracle has got that Battle Fury now completed.
Oh my.
So, I mean, for their team having both the Battle Fury on the Troll and eventually Matu, very close to the Relic, 3,600 gold, they are going to have these 2 cores which are going to farm at a pace that maybe on his Deucer will probably be able to keep up with, but Armin, his Monkey King, they need to make action happen if they want to stay on the same level.
Yep. The Vendetta initiation coming.
CX Nova.
They want a couple, they want challenge too.
It's Kuro coming in as well. GH looking towards the back lines as Matu's chasing on the front. They do get the Wukong's command down though. Zame tries to get the Ginger stacks on. Miracle only 3 stacks here. They're doomed FY. FY trying his best to retreat.
He's hiding in the Wukongs.
Yeah, he's managed to walk himself entirely away as Liquid had just passed by him. He's going to outlive the Doom.
And Chalice just TP's mid. He's like, alright, that's a tier 2 tower compressor. Let's force those TP's back.
Yeah, X-Nova, the only one to die there.
Oh, Ame almost had his tree chopped. Mind Control was fishing for him. Can he get it?
Ame knocking around in the trees. And Liquid, they're ready to cut them down. He's got to be more careful in that one. The Quelling Blades are out on Liquid's heroes. They will chop his trees down.
And you want to have an idea of where the players think this game is doing? All you've got to do is see the item that Monkey King Ame has queued up. He has a Midas queued up as a Monkey King. He sees this going like Echo Saber Midas. This is not your everyday Monkey King build.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me about this. I mean, why the Midas and not the Battle Fury if he wants to play the farm game?
The experience that the Midas gives you can just accelerate you that much faster in the late game. It's not always entirely about the item progression. I mean, Midas does take a bit longer to pay off, and I think he doesn't want to get too greedy. The Battle Fury is like, you look at your item times, you're going to need a BKB, there's some other items you want to fight with, and Battle Fury does slow them down quite a bit, whereas the Midas is, it's 2k gold on a farming item. That just gets you to those key level 20, level 25 talents that you're really going to want to have this game.
Well, we'll see if it does literally pay off for him. And so he's close to it, but it's keeping up with this Radiant Lone Druid and this Battle Fury Troll. That's the question if he can.
Yeah, the Battle Fury doesn't necessarily accelerate your farm that much because your max Tree Dance Primal Spring clears waves so effectively. You can kind of just insta-clear waves using that and a Boundless Strike, and this game moving at a fairly slow farming pace. 20-minute bounty runes coming up, and we'll see where those will end up since this is such a battle of economies.
The seeds of fortune.
Smoke up from Liquid. They found Chalice.
TP's out.
Mind Control. Not wanting to go for the Ravage there.
I think he wasn't sure if he even had time to cancel the TP since there is that slight cast time.
These fights now, they're going to be a lot harder for PSG LGD to fight amongst once that Radiance is there on the front lines, as it's picked up and done by Matu.
There you go, Monkey King. Midas completed. Radiance queued up as his next item. I mean, different kind of greed. The Battle Fury obviously kind of farm fast. The Radiance isn't really being picked up exclusively. It's not really even being picked up as a farming item at all. Very much this teamfight nuisance item with the mischance. It just guarantees you this AoE damage as well. This spread damage that if you're being kited and controlled, you can still be effective. Actually changes from the Radiance to BKB now. So Ame just constantly unsure what to buy, which kind of sums up how tough this game has been for him. When you see these players, changing their quick buy items repeatedly, it just really means they're unsure of what is the right choice for this game.
Still such a close, it's all about the farm this game for both teams. Both teams seeming to have in mind a way to take this. As the panel said, they did sort of side with Liquid's lineup if it did come down to this.
Yeah, it's you've got a couple good scaling carries and then good scaling. You've got 5 position Doom. Like when your 5 position can take somebody out of the fight with that. I mean, there's not amazing Doom targets necessarily. We talked a bit about, Monkey King can still build up his Jingu if he's doomed and stand and fight his ground. If he's got Wukong's off, Deuce a fairly similar thing where if you're doomed, it's not the end of the world. But Liquid's draft just looked like they've got 5 heroes that are suited to go late game, whereas on the LGD side, there's going to be a little bit more of a fall off with heroes like Witch Doctor, and I would say even like Monkey Nature's Prophet.
Now for the Roche. Liquid smoke themselves in.
Speed scan.
PSG LGD, they'll certainly want to try and put a stop to this. As the Wukongs comes out from Ame into the Boundless, trying to slow them down. Liquid, they're going to win the back. Oh my god, he's in! The Echo Slap's out, but it's not enough damage. X-Boy will fall. As only Mind Control goes down, Miracle takes the Roche, gets the Aegis. They will kill off the Aegis as in comes Mary with the Stone Gaze. He's now been doomed. He's got to be a little careful as Miracle's back and ready for round 2. The slows in on X-Nova and maybe he's finished up the Witch Doctor. The chase continues, looking for maybe. Balor strike out from Ame, but the spike campus was worth the G8. The spell as well. Miracle's trapped in the spell. Can he kill his dude for his time? He can. Triple kill going down. As PSG LGD, we'll see if they can find more. If they got any way to cancel this TP, they have not. Kuro gets out of there, but it all kicks off around the Roche pit.
What a important first team fight of the game. Really, it is the first one we've had. We're 23 minutes in. It's a Roche fight. 2k gold swing in LGD's favor, plus they managed to deny the Aegis from Liquid. FY Shaker finding the opening. If he managed to kill that troll warlord before he secured the Roche and the Aegis, it would have been a very one-sided affair, but in the end, it is a much more even exchange, and things will settle down after that. And with Ravage on cooldown, I don't imagine LGD will necessarily want to let it just settle down. They are perhaps a bit more ready to go the second the Medusa respawns.
See it here again. I mean, brilliant start from Arme, and of course no hesitation from FY to get that jump in, but it just wasn't enough damage, even though it was a beautiful three-man Echo Slam. Mind Control still gets that Ravage off, and as you say, Miracle just being allowed the time to get Roshan, get the Aegis. If he dies here, didn't have the Aegis, fantastic fight for PSG LGD, but he gets back out of it, and he ends up cleaning up a triple kill.
Yeah, they responded quickly, but just not quite quickly enough. They need that little bit extra damage, perhaps something like the Nature's Prophet teeping in. I don't know if Wrath of Nature was up to go with the Echo Slam. They just were a little bit short.
That just goes to show how close of a game this is at the moment. Those sort of seconds just mattering so much for whichever way the fights will swing.
You can see how scared Ame was. The fact he's died twice by having his tree dropped, he actually jumped down, so his team lost a lot of key vision around the Roshan pit when he got off of the tree, but he was so scared. The second he drops the Wukongs, they can Quelling Blade those trees from inside the Roshan pit, so he does not want to get caught out and stunned again. And he's really respecting the fact that, you know, Liquid could just catch him by surprise.
Top lane, PSG LGD will be able to push on and claim that tier 2 tower, getting something done. As you say, whilst the Ravage is down, it's now back up for Mind Control.
Tower's under attack.
And no Aegis in play. It is Liquid with that slightly faster farming rate. They've got the Lone Druid Bear with a Radiant, so he can constantly apply pressure in these side lanes, even safely so without the Lone Druid himself there. But as it stands, Matu wants to push with his Bear so we can get that a bit of additional tower damage in down bottom. Very much the close playoff series you'd expect between these two teams.
Ever so close this game too. And such a careful, calculated game. Only 9 for 10, not too crazy on the kills. But the farm is there as both teams making sure to not let one another get too far ahead. The farm obviously split a little more between the two cores of Liquid, this Matu, Lone Druid and Miracle Troll, whereas with PSG LGD it's a little more shifted most onto this maybe Medusa. But with that he's hitting these quick timings. Manta Star, Butterfly done. He's about an Ultimate Orb already in towards the Skadi at a very good time.
I'm enjoying Ame's item building, and not enjoying I think it's very clever. Getting this Halberd now after the Midas, very effective, having a disarm against both Troll and the Lone Druid. And he just wants to be tanky. He wants to be this frontliner that can actually kind of not just run away from the physical damage, and that's where the Radiance that he's got queued up next kind of synergizes with this build pretty nicely. He can be in the front line, put that Radiance damage out, give that mischance as well. You know, this Spirit Bear isn't going to build anything like an MKB most likely anytime soon. Although Miracle himself on the Troll has now hit his BKB timing, level 18, so max battle trance. And they instantly smoke up. Liquid, no, they're very strong with this BKB purchase. But it's been popped. X-Nova, he may die for this, but this feels well worth it.
Now they've found definitely the Witch Doctor, the rest of PSG LGD out of the area. As Miracle actually popping the BKB there, sort of anticipation that PSG LGD would jump back in, but it's not the case, and that's a BKB charge down.
Yeah, and LGD losing just the one support there. Meanwhile, Deuce Illusions were farming and pressuring out the bottom lane, and the Chalice Nature's Prophet is doing a similar thing up top, so PSG LGD just going to be pretty happy with that sequence of events, but still it is that Liquid lead. 3k gold lead, and they're going to be looking to use that big team fight of theirs with the Tide Ravage around that Roche number 2. They're happy to farm until Roshan's up because these outer towers just aren't key enough objectives for them. The Roshan is so much more important. They don't want to risk, you know, pushing an outer tower and using Ravage to win a fight, but then potentially Ravage is on cooldown, PSG LGD can go for Roshan. Roshan is just the most important thing right now for both these squads.
And Halberd's been the aim of the game for both teams. Matu's got his done as well, so can help out heavily against the damage output of maybe or Arme, whichever he deems to be the bigger problem in the fights.
Yep. Always one of the items that I feel like is underbought.
And up top, Arme, he goes for the commitment, but there's the turn straight away with the Rambies. They're on top of the Monkey King. He's trying to get the Wukong's command, and he will find it. The Sprout holding Miracle back and away from Arme, so Arme's still alive, but now the BKB comes out. Miracle in onto the Monkey King, and the stack's built up. The Monkey King's dead. Sprout holding in Kuro, moving in, maybe has the damage to take down Doom. There's a buyback from Arme. He wants to get back over towards this fight. The Doom's still there, down onto the Medusa. The disarm as well, from into the man's armor. It's a absolutely smashes them! What the hell was that? Where did he come from?
Warriors of the world.
I didn't see it coming, they didn't see it coming. I don't know if FY's team saw it coming, but FY. Oh my. Oh. Well, it's definitely worth staying up late tonight for the boys and girls in the crowd watching this one as FY. And now they're just up to the base.
You win one fight with Dusa and you just push him high ground. That's
oh my goodness. The man, the myth, the legend, FY. Showing us why.
Flashbacks to his shaker at TI. This man is,
I mean, that's, I guess,
something special.
That's the power of these sort of slow and patient, quiet games. There's always going to be that point where Liquid, they just forget he's there. They group up as four. And my goodness, that swing. The FY swing.
It's scary too. A hero like Dusa just naturally has heroes converge on and around her, particularly after they kill the monkey. There's this moment where they're like, oh, we're winning this fight. We can actually, now we focus our attention on Dusa, but FY was ready.
He really was.
And there was a clutch play, like before that Miracle, his BKB was down because he used it to, he saw the shaker coming and actually BKB dodged the fissure, which stopped FY from initiating. The fight went bad for LGD initially because of the BKB usage. But then once it dragged down and the Dusa didn't get killed off quick enough, FY saw his opening and boy did he pounce quickly.
Oh, yeah, Liquid, they've just got to be much more careful. We see them get caught out the once. You know, so you fool me once, but fooling them twice, it's going to be tough for FY. But if anyone does do it, and FY continues to be on form as he has in this game, it could happen once more. Liquid, they've got to be careful. FY, he's ready to play.
Absolutely, and suddenly Dusa maybe just turns up with a Skadi, level 22, on his way to a Satanic. Monkey King also level 19, the Midas, this is where it's kind of kicking in. He's probably gotten at least one full level, maybe a level and a half of extra experience thanks to this Midas.
A quick smoke up from Liquid.
Dyer's bottom
Let's see what they can go
tower's
on,
under
mate.
attack.
If they're playing them ready, we'll put the Wukong down. They get the balance right. And fly! Again, he's in with the Echo Center. They have the follow-up with the bags. They're in the right control. The counter play. The Ravage comes out. Miracle BKB tries to be towards Arme, but the Crimsons have got PSG LGD. They're too tightly. Liquid, they've got to get out of there. FY, Fisher block off. But Liquid, they're now start to turn and run back towards Xnova. The Doom's still there on the Doom's, but he's hitting. He's punching. He's hurting. Then the fear sends them back. Arme battle strike. Trapping up Kuroki. The challenge Sprout. Half the Doom in place. Kuro's down. They've got the Chaos. Mantis. The X as well. Mantu, he's in trouble. Another fear. Sends the three of them back. Buyback comes out from Xnova. Matumba Man. He's on the retreat.
Oh, they're still chasing them.
They're still going. Chalice and Arme in on the front. But there's the fear again. Chalice. Stunned up. Liquid turn. Miracle. Damage is there. Chalice is gone. Maybe. Still trying to go to mind control. See the damage reduction with the anchor smash. But from the bounces with the ult. Indeed, he's off with the Albert. The disarm. Miracle's damage up. Heavily sown. Spirit Vessel over the gun. He's got Arme. The disarm. They've taken the power away from Baby. As now, they'll chase for the Dusa. Maybe surrounded the Dusa. Surely dead and gone. He's trying to get Miracle. But Liquid have the damage. It's an ultra kill for Miracle.
He was on one health, maledicted. Life steals his way through with the blast plus the battle trance. He just overrun PSG LGD.
And now it's Liquid's time to push.
They're going to buy back the Dusa, but it's still a 2v5. The problem is they've used everything in their arsenal. They're going to fall back, make the safer play, go for Roshan. They don't know the stats. They assume there is more buybacks on PSG LGD than there is.
It's a good spawn time for Liquid too. Getting this Rosh.
There's nothing you can do if you're LGD.
My goodness. The swings back and forth. What a game 2 we are rewarded with this series here. LGD versus Liquid. Doesn't get any better than this. Is now back a 6k lead for Liquid, but you know that can get turned on his head very quickly. PSG LGD have still been taking some very, very good fights, and you've always got to watch out for that shaker. Even at the start of that one, FY, you can see the potential. Quickly following up the boundless stroke with Echo Slams, and straight away sliding into position with that full staff to block Liquid off.
Yeah, and Chalice even had the Hex follow-up, but ends up kind of baiting his team later on in the fight. And I'd say most importantly, the thing in that fight that happened is Miracle was in melee form when he got halberded, so it was that short duration disarm. If he was in range form with the full 5 seconds, that would have been catastrophic, and I imagine he would have died, and that fight would not have looked how it did. And now he's got both Sanjin, Yasha, and Satanic, so all of this status resistance is going to add up, and I mean, things like that Heaven's Halberd is just that little bit less problematic to deal with in a fight.
That's going to be so hard to hold him down.
And PSG LGD may start having some damage issues on their team. The Dusa is not by any means... They've got great spread physical damage with this Dusa, but if Troll's just on top of Dusa, Troll's going to win that fight.
Yeah, a lot of control routes as we saw there as well. The Halberds coming into play. GH walks up, Spike Carpets now wears out. Has got the rest of Liquid fine, but the mana's burn on GH. Trying with the wraparound, but there's the Hex. They've killed off the Nyx Assassin. Miracle sprouted up, cuts his way out.
And that's the other really crucial thing about this Battle Fury item build is he's going to hold on to this to get out of the Sprout, because otherwise you're getting kited every single team fight by it. The status resist does nothing against those trees being summoned around you.
They have to control the Troll in these fights, PSG LGD. They've got to somehow make those jumps happen. Kill him within that time, as you say, with the status resistance boost thanks to the Satanic. It's not going to be easy. The chances that Miracle's able to press his R button and get that ult off are very high.
Yep. I do like that this Dusa goes for this Stone Gaze duration talent.
He slides out of
The creep blocked him. MVP creeps.
Oh, absolutely. FY gets out. He playing it cool. Deep in out of that one, but my goodness, was it close.
I don't know. I didn't click the bear. It may have had... I imagine Phase Boost was on cooldown, knowing how good Matu is, but... very close to catching FY Shaker. But yeah, Deuce's level 20 talent, the Stone Gaze duration, there's potential to catch people twice with this Stone Gaze now.
Oh man, and with that MKB, maybe hits so hard. They have to somehow get that disarm upon him.
It's this,
he's only, he's only got a Manta, he doesn't have any sort of BKB, so no way to go into the fight without having the warrior being disarmed. So chances are this Deuce is always going to get reduced by that disarm for a good moment of the team fight.
A scary thing too, and the panel mentioned the Nyx Assassin Mana Burn isn't necessarily a direct counter to Medusa at the early to mid game, but once you get late game and you have Nyx with some items and that Mana Burn cooldown that is only 4 seconds at max level, suddenly this Nyx Assassin is a very problematic hero for Medusa to play against.
I'll go for a bit of bear abuse and maybe picks up the 300 gold. Babbitt picked up there. The beating of the poor animal.
Liquid didn't get Rax despite that incredible team wipe, but getting Roshan has not really led them to any successful follow-up fights. PSG LGD playing keep away, playing it safe, knowing they don't really want to team fight into Aegis and Cheese. The happy news for Liquid is you've also just denied the Aegis from LGD. Aegis is one of those items particularly good against, the likes of Doom that often can just take a hero's life out. I like this from Kura. Goes back for a 4-star. You saw that last fight, that how perhaps Troll could die. If he gets caught in a stun and an Hex, you need the 4-star to save him. That's how you can kind of shove him out, get him into a better position so that he just doesn't die during that Nature's Prophet Hex duration, or the Earthshaker Chain Stun can get messed up by a 4-star. Very good defensive item to have.
Just 30 seconds pretty much left on Miracle's Aegis. Once it's gone, we'll have that slot available to pick up the Monkey King bar. He's got the money for it.
Yep. It's hard for Liquid to kind of progress the game with the Aegis because of this constant split push. Chalice is Nature's Prophet. He may have itemized with these team items, going for Crimson, Drums, Vlads, and now a Hex, but here, regardless of what items you have, split pushes very well. Some of these, 25 on Dusa, getting close. The Monkey King with his Might is still not quite getting him that close to his level 25. That's got a Radiance completed and a Ghost Scepter queued up. It's, you know, not an item you normally feel good about seeing on a Monkey King, particularly, you know, one with the Radiance on the front lights, but he just needs to stay alive. He's melting to the physical damage, and this allows him to kind of kite the troll even more. It kind of effectively works in a similar way to Disarm, where it's like, okay, he can't hit you, he's disarmed if there's no one to right-click during his battle trance.
Now Liquid.
They want to fight. No,
Getting aggressive again. The Boundless Strike onto Miracle. He's falling pretty low. He's got to be very careful. Ace for the catch.
Caught him by surprise, I think.
As Liquid straight away on the retreat. PSG LGD won't be able to get a catch on them.
Dire's bottom shrine is
They'll
under
get out of there,
attack.
play it safe, maybe work towards the timing of that next Roche spawn before they try for another push.
And Miracle himself going to have an MKB for the upcoming fight, so he's going to be a much better one-to-one counter against this Medusa. Not having to worry about that butterfly evasion quite as much. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind seeing Ame turn this Ghost Scepter into an Ethereal Blade. We saw last game the Ethereal Blades plays you can make against these single target right-click carries, and Troll Warlord fits that description, so see if there's any consideration going there. But for now, GH, Aghanim Scepter complete. That is a very annoying item to play against.
And no longer sort of the support hero that you can kill off around the Spike Carapace. He's going to be burrowed down, throwing out spells throughout the team fight. Still very vulnerable on the Medusa, you know, obviously doesn't want to get the BKB this game maybe. So yeah. GH is sort of full repertoire, is still going to hinder maybe his impact in these team fights by quite so much.
Medusa's buyback going to come online soon, so there'll be perhaps, you know, a little bit of sigh of relief from the PSG LGD side. They haven't been punished by the Aegis cheese or the buyback being on cooldown. Both teams playing it very cautiously, and Liquid, I think, just feeling good about how their lineup can scale into the late game.
PSG LGD.
Oh, they're baiting this top bounty rune.
They're coming out for this.
Brewing. I think they see the tide and they're like, let's not do this.
Yeah, they can't go for that.
Meanwhile, the Spirit Bear gets both bottom bounties, so 3-1 for Liquid.
Keeping that there roughly 12k advantage still at the 40 minutes mark for Liquid.
There's the Tome of Experience being bought by Medusa. She's so close to 25. I don't like seeing these heroes use these XP tomes when you're so close to 25. Yeah, surely she just gives it to someone else. Medusa, come on. Oh my gosh, that's the greediest Tome of Experience I've seen in my life. That is so greedy. You were like one creep from level 25. Help your team out, maybe. Come on, man. If you were like about to fight Roshan, sure, but I don't think we're seeing a team fight until next Roshan. Either way, not the end of the world.
That's another halberd done. Chalice able to offer more utility to the fights. They can sort of time these disarms around Miracle's BKB. He's going to struggle to get himself on top of the Medusa and threaten the life of Maybe. Especially in this late game, this 25 Medusa is no joke.
Battle of map control. I like this Radiant PSG LGD ward by this push. They didn't put it on the obvious cliff. They moved it further away. And it's not being dewarded because of that. The vision around that high ground is so crucial, and some unique X-Nova wards. That ward's almost, it's been up for half its duration undewarded. At this stage of the game, having a ward up for that long is surprising. But it's the unconventional placement that works in their favor.
Smoke up and go from PSG LGD. They're out of the base.
Roche is up in 5. Treants are going to be walking in there too.
GH is prepared though. Burrowed underground.
Yep, they'll see the Roche respawn. But they don't see GH.
It's all about patience. The smoke will dispel when they get close enough, so they'll know that someone is around here, Invis, and burrowed underground.
Yep, they've got sentries too. They're not at the Roche pit just yet.
And there they have the mana burn. Starting to show himself. Miracle looks towards him. They have the stun, but the fish is out. Onto Miracle Army.
He's got no mana.
He's getting in position for the Blue Cross command. Miracle's been sprouted. Plus the BKB cuts his way out. They're backing away.
Medusa's sitting on 100 mana. If they got a shrine, they do, maybe moves back, pops the shrine. 2 mana burns, chunked away like 800 mana right there, maybe even more than that. Man, that is annoying. GH's positioning very good there just to get those mana burns off from the pit.
And Miracle's got a double damage rune ready for this Roche fight.
Ooh. And that Liquid smoke up knowing how strong they are with this DD.
All about this Roche. Neither side can afford to let it go. GH is going to get Hex. Money over jump for Michael. Ravage is up to 4. Matu, they're on top of the Deucer. The Deucer doomed. Out of mana. Maybe's in trouble. Liquid's around him. He's dead. No buyback available on Maybe. He's dead for 2 minutes. They're onto FI as well as he's burned down by the Radiance. He cannot escape this. Liquid get 3 kills. None of the heroes with any sort of buyback available to contest this Roche, as Liquid will go straight into the pit. They'll have no trouble cleaning this Roche out up themselves, and still such a long time to play when Maybe is out of the game.
Just playing a bit too aggressively, and you can see why this game is being played at this slow pace, because there's so many kill threat heroes on Team Liquid's side. Anybody slightly out of position, and there it's Chalice TPing in a bit too aggressively, and the problem is the hero he TPs into, the Nyx, and he uses his Hex on, is not the hero you want to be going on. This Nyx is very tanky, hard to kill, and despite this Rax advantage that LG's had all game long, they're constantly being on the back foot.
And they don't have the money for buyback.
This could be
Maybe.
make or break for them. Shaker is back. It's all up to FY Shaker once again.
He needs something even more beautiful than last time if he wants to try and slow this down, as Miracle takes another tier 3. Liquid, they may not even believe it themselves that Maybe he just can't get back into the game.
Yeah, they're going to let this one go, it seems.
As two sets of racks.
You have to defend it. Going down Megas doesn't sound like a great idea, but I just don't think LGD have the best options here to fight with, and they know it. That's why they're not even trying to defend yet, but they're going to be forced to.
Amename, he has a Wukong's ready to pop. He'll move in, try and hope that they force back. On the side, they do get the cast, the Maladin, the Fisher out. They'll jump in, F5 with the sound. They'll kill off GH.
Yeah, it's not the big team fight winning slam, but it's enough to buy some time.
And Liquid, they'll still stick around. They want to get these Megas. They are going to be able to clean up the base while the fortification does slow. The Fisher out. On before them, a good pass for the Nature's Wrap. A Miracle popping the BKB. Just wants these Mega creeps, and he'll look to get them without any issue. Maybe the Hex. Oh, okay, they get him the once. Now Maybe's in position.
He's probably dying twice.
Let's see if they can do it. Spin this out. He really wants to hit that Rax. Get that Megas, but the chainsaw, he's got the auto. He'll live a little longer.
Hit the Rax.
But indeed, the range Rax will be saved. Megas aren't out quite yet against PSG LGD.
Yeah, and calculated aggression from Miracle, where he's like, okay, I have this Aegis. He knew he was going to die twice there, but it's worth dying to get those Mega creeps. Doesn't get him, still Liquid in very comfortable cruise control. The fact that Miracle has buyback means he knew exactly what he was doing. Happy to throw away his life for the greater good. They don't get Megas, but you're up 5 racks, still in firm control.
And you got PSG
LGD, you got to go down mid.
And look at this, the Ags lone Druid. Here he comes.
They're pinging it, they know. They're like, kill
the bear. He's hexed. He's disarmed. The bear still trying to battle on.
Oh, the Sprout.
He's stuck.
Oh, no.
He's sprouted. And the bear will fall.
But more importantly than getting that Rax now is not having to use your troll buyback. I was going to say, the way PSG LGD can win this game right now is if they force this troll buyback and manage to kill Miracle again. That play, while it doesn't secure them the Rax, it just bought 30-40 seconds, and these lanes are not being pushed out. It does not look like PSG LGD can put themselves in a position to get this buyback to be used. So if they're going to want to win, they're going to have to kill Troll twice still. And they may just have to go for some big all-in play. Like, this is feeling like we're in Medusa Rapier territory almost, but
it feels like it.
I mean, you saw last fight how Medusa just gets controlled and bursts down. The stuns from Ravage, Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, all his mana's just gone.
And you're always getting hit by Carapace. Split Shot kind of guarantees that. So it's a free Carapace setup into Impale, double mana burn.
I mean, you know, I sort of said this whole game, maybe he obviously doesn't want to get a BKB. Would a BKB have made any difference, do you think, if he did slot it into his item build?
It would have potentially made a difference. I think it's an item you just have to buy on Medusa when you're playing against Nyx in late game. Early to mid game, if you're going steamrolling, going fine, yeah, don't worry about it. The second the game gets to this 40+ minute and you're not winning, BKB becomes more essential. It's too late now. He's got to focus on what he can get, which could be a BKB, but I don't think you can get the BKB anymore. It's something that needed to come up earlier.
Yep.
You're down almost Megas. Get the Rapier. Hope for the best. Hope that somehow you just don't get chain stunned and mana burn constantly in a fight. And I mean, PSG LGD, yeah, they've got maybe one team fight left in them. Liquid, plenty of room for error. They still got a refresher shot on this Doom. They're likely looking just to wait for the next Roshan, even if they want to, or a way to sneak this last range Rax.
And that Aghanim's Doom too, from Kuro. It hurts if he lays it down.
This is, yeah, that's the item with the break that can just destroy Medusa. And Monkey King. We kind of hoped that S4 bought it in the last series when he was playing the Doom. We went for the refresher instead. When there are good heroes who use break on, absolutely, this Axe Scepter can be game-winning.
PSG LGD, they're on their way out. They get their Hex straight away onto GH, popping the BKBs, the Wukong, they're throwing everything down onto the Nyx Assassin, and we'll get the job done. The rest of Liquid pull back away.
Sure needs to be careful. He is very key. He may be the 5 position, but he doesn't look like it. 17k net worth on Kuro. Not every day you see that, and he's got Ag's Refresher Shard with a BKB queued up. And that Doom DPS talent, so a lot of Doom damage.
Such a hard position for PSG LGD to be in right now. That slam play earlier from FY feeling like a few pipe dreams away, as this game now in a very dire state for PSG LGD. Only the range wreck standing top. They need some sort of an incredible comeback to swing this around, as you say, all Liquid's heroes scaling so well at this stage of the game. This is what the panel feared for. They said it gets to this certain point, Liquid's heroes just operate so much nicer than the full roster of LGD past this point in the game.
Liquid, they know they're not under any pressure. Yeah, they didn't get that mega creep range racks, but they're happy to sit back, get a few more items, a few more level 25s. Mind Control's got that plus 250 damage talent now, so he's suddenly a bit more of a beast in the late game. And Lone Druid about to hit his level 25 as well. So plenty of scaling going on their Liquid side, and also, you know, no pressure until that Roshan's alive. They're just playing around these bounty runes once again. We've seen Liquid set some really nice traps up to help them secure themselves bounty runes and also win them some team fights.
PSG LGD will at least be able to make their way out, take the 2 top ones. There's a DD rune up, spawning it towards the top. As GH will get his eyes on it. He's just going to grab it. Doesn't feel confident to buy time, for the rest of his cores to pick it up.
You don't know where that Deuce is nearby or going to come take it, and that could be very problematic. Deuce,
how's the gold looking?
Very close to Rapier. Just 500 away.
What do you swap out? Do you just sit in the high ground and swap the boots out?
Yeah, probably just swap the boots out. They just feel like you're getting kited, you're getting stunned, so the boots don't really help you when you're stunned. It just feels like they lack that save or defensive item to help him out. Like, I mean, they've got a 4-staff on Witch Doctor, a 4-staff on Shaker, but he just melts so damn quickly. And GH, I love this. He's seen what has caused him problems on the Nyx Assassin. Just getting jumped and bursted, gets the A on Dis now. This is just going to take out one of the ways that we've seen PSG LGD start fights, and almost, you know, some of their one fights, or at least when they force Liquid back, have come from just, you know, either jumping Kuro or GH. Kuro needs to be the first target of the fight. You need to kill him. If he gets 1 Doom off, I think you lose the fight. If he gets 2, you lose the game.
Maybe. He wants to get out and do a bit of shopping.
Would like to. Afraid to send the courier, with good reason. You don't want to lose a Rapier and a courier. Especially when you have no control over that area of the map.
The line's been drawn here.
That's how you get to the shop, they're saying.
It's so hard to do, though, with Liquid all around this position. PSG LGD have also, they've just got to sort of hope that Liquid do sort of back up from this area, maybe even hope for a Roche spawn so Liquid aren't here and maybe can actually get over to buy that Rapier. GH on constant guard. The security guard here of this shop as GH starts to burn the mana. So stun out, they will be able to force back the Deuce. Arme's committing for this dream. The Doom is down. Mind Controlling with the Ravage. Arme is dead. Has to buy back immediately.
That was a bit questionable. And PSG LGD are going to have to, just reset with 1 buyback less. That's going to make things just that little bit more difficult, and I just don't see a way they can really get out to contest that Roche pit.
It's so close to respawning.
The vision
10 seconds and it's there.
Yeah, this vision is just so tough. It's playing against them, and Liquid just maintaining control of this high ground, denying the secret shop, denying access towards Roshan.
It's getting to the point where they've got to send that courier almost on a mission down towards the secret shop of Liquid, if they ever want to hope to buy that item.
That's what it might do. Maybe they just don't feel like it's worth buying and not having buyback. But now that your monkey doesn't have buyback, it just feels like, okay, we don't have buyback on one carry.
This is so risky from PSG LGD. They're coming out with this smoke. Roshan, it's being taken.
It's dying so fast.
What can they do? They're trying for the wraparound.
They're too late.
There they are. Roshan's down. They start to pick all the bits up. Cast is out. Maybe does move with the Stoggies, are they? It's a huge movement. They'll look for Kura in the middle with the Stog. He's already there to Medusa. They've lost the team. Kura will die. They're moving out far. He's got the Empress now control of the two of them. Punch the cheese. He's back up to full. Maybe he's out of mana. He's stuck in position. He can be down from Mike Jump. Miracle's falling low. No, it's disarmed. They've killed the Aegis. Maybe still alive. The sentry's down. They've got the GH. Garabis trying to get the stun. Maybe still alive. Falls to the side. They're keeping their dudes alive. And fights back in. The control. GH is dead. Kuro trying to finish off Maybe, but Maybe dies. The Doom is out. Maybe's still alive. Finally, they kill him off. The Doom's just dead and down. Medusa and X-Nova buying back for this one. Fly still trying to poke. If they can get Maybe back over here, maybe they could do something. Maybe's having to deal with the base. Mind control. Hex. Chalice gets the kill.
They need to just run down mid. Medusa buys boots of travel. Okay, so doesn't commit for the rape. It feels like, we're in this one. We're not in that desperate situation. Ame had a 200 health troll that he could have chased down there. Chose not to. I think a bit afraid of the satanic usage, but man, what a good fight for PSG LGD. They hold themselves alive. They still need to force some more of these buybacks, it feels like.
But they get rid of those items that Liquid could have ended the game with. They removed the Aegis, they removed the cheese. As both have to be used in that fight by Team Liquid.
And with a fighting chance, refresher on Ame.
Oh, a very different iron build from this Monkey King.
Yeah, look, he's gone unconventional, but he realizes his place in this game.
As PSG LGD, 22k net worth behind, but now they're up towards the base of Liquid. Mind control buying back. Ravage not quite back up though. 55 seconds without the Ravage.
No Doom for 75 seconds as well.
Matsu is going for the Megas though.
Yeah. Are they going to defend or are they all in the throat?
They're going to send Chalice back. Chalice, he will be able to get the bear out and they're going to bring the bear back.
He can't resummon his bear, so he can't really suicide it to get that Rax because suddenly they could find themselves losing their high ground. So Matsu
GH
plays it safe.
Gets Hex on the front. Maybe moving into the Stone Gaze. They've got it back off Liquid. You've got to be careful now. The Stone Gaze has been used. Maybe has to be very careful. The fortification comes out. He is taking down the melee ranks. Ame, there's the Brownless. Here's the first. Ruko's ready to go. He's surrounded. He's dropped up. He cannot get out of this. Kura's dead. 2 minutes. No Doom. As PSG LGD finish off the mid melee ranks.
Ame has refresher. He's got another BKB Wukong's if he wants to use it. But problem is Dusa a bit low on mana.
They get the picture. Miracle got stunned. There's the jumping from mind control. The BKB. They're looking all come on! Ravage mind control comes out! It's disarmed! It's disarmed! Miracle! He's doing no damage at all! They have the control! Miracle's in trouble! He's dead! GH with the stun too! The Fisher! F1 knocking him down! GH sprouted Chalice! They've got it! LGD! They are doing it! How? To the tier 4s! PSG LGD! How did they win this? Miracles in with the BKB! Can they hold this? Maybe solo on both mana and HP. He has that hook. The satanic F1! He's shutting down the game! He says, my name is F1! And we are getting a game!
Absolutely world-class Dota.
Doesn't get much better. Really doesn't. A whole day where we had series game, the full 3 games. This series, it looked like Liquid, they had the 2-0. But PSG LGD, these itemizations, Ame, the refresher or pickup was absolutely